Some directors make movies, others build worlds, but a rare few create films so layered, so meticulously constructed, that decades later, people are still asking the same question. Was there something hidden beneath the surface? Tonight's case file explores the life and work of one of cinema's most mysterious creators, a man whose films continue to spark theories, analysis, and debate across generations. His name was Stanley Kubrick. Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. Tonight we examine the legacy of a filmmaker who believed that cinema was more than entertainment. To Kubrick, film was a language, and every frame had meaning. Kubrick began his career not as a director, but as a photographer. At just 17 years old, he was hired by Look magazine, where he developed a reputation for obsessive attention to detail. This obsession would define his entire career. Kubrick was known to demand dozens, sometimes hundreds of takes for a single scene. Every camera movement, every piece of lighting, every actor's gesture, nothing was accidental. Because to Kubrick, filmmaking was architecture. Every element served the structure. Many of Kubrick's films became cultural landmarks, but they also became puzzles. In 2001, A Space Odyssey, audiences were presented with a story about evolution, artificial intelligence, and humanity's place in the cosmos. Yet the film contained long stretches of silence, symbolic imagery, and an ending that remains open to interpretation. Kubrick once said that the film was meant to be experienced on a subconscious level, not explained, but felt. And perhaps nowhere is this symbolic complexity more discussed than in The Shining. Released in 1980, the film appears on the surface to be a story about isolation and madness inside a haunted hotel. But many viewers notice strange details. Patterns repeating throughout the hotel, impossible architecture, hidden imagery. Some believe these elements suggest deeper themes beneath the story. Others believe Kubrick simply enjoyed building visual puzzles. The truth may lie somewhere in between. Kubrick's final film, Eyes Wide Shut, was released shortly after his death in 1999. The film explores themes of secrecy, power, and hidden societies. Its dreamlike atmosphere and symbolic imagery sparked immediate discussion. Was Kubrick revealing something about elite circles of power? Or was the film simply exploring the psychological boundaries between desire, identity, and control? Kubrick rarely explained his intentions. He believed that once a film is released, its meaning belongs to the audience. What makes Kubrick's films endure is not simply their technical brilliance. It is their ambiguity. They invite interpretation. They encourage viewers to look deeper. And in doing so, they transform movies into something more. Not just stories, but experiences that challenge how we think. Stanley Kubrick directed only 13 feature films in his lifetime. Yet each one pushed the boundaries of what cinema could be. He believed that great films should not give audiences easy answers. They should provoke questions. And decades later, people are still searching his work for meaning. Perhaps that was always the point, because sometimes the most powerful stories are not the ones that explain everything, but the ones that leave us wondering. And that is tonight's case file, the legacy of Stanley Kubrick, a filmmaker whose images continue to echo through cinema and mystery.